Hey guys, so in today's video, we're going to talk about boundaries. That's right, we've had videos on this before, but I feel like in the last week or two, I've been learning a lot about boundaries for myself, energetic boundaries, and I wanted to share the information that I got for you. So if you like my videos, you like my content, you think I got the right stuff, kid. You like my hair? Today's interesting. I get to play. It's getting to that weird length where it kind of feels like a boy band hair. But you like any of those things, click subscribe. And I feel like there's other things. Oh, you can share it. That's another thing. Yeah, share it. See if anybody has any suggestions for my hair or just wants to see some of my videos. So anyway, boundaries. I feel like I said, in the last couple of weeks, I'm really being shown this lack of boundary that I've set for myself. I feel like it's growing up in rural, small town where I grew up, plus I'm one of five. What is a boundary? You know, I come out to California, I'm from the East Coast, and so maybe some of you East Coasters will understand what I mean, but you know, it's like one of these senses of like, you start hanging out with all the Californians and they're all talking about their boundaries and stuff, and I'm just like, what bullshit is this? You know, what hippy dippy hokey pokey, you know, West Coast bowl is this? And it's starting to show up in my life. So it takes a while to unravel some of the conditioning from growing up in a place where there are no boundaries. You don't have any personal space. You don't have anything that's kind of sacred or hidden. You know, it's like this sense of when I was married and about to separate from my ex-husband, I still hadn't told anybody in my family, none of my siblings, nobody, because it's one of those things that there is nothing that is sacred. There's nothing that is secret. There's nothing. So you have to do your damnedest to keep it a secret. All of this to say, boundaries. I feel like what I'm seeing, what I'm learning, or really what I'm experiencing, how do I know that this is becoming a thing? It's because I'm just so exhausted all the time. And there could be multiple reasons. You're living in your car. Maybe you're not sleeping the best. Maybe your diet's not the greatest. Maybe I haven't really moved my body much. I haven't, you know, and these are all factors as well. And I'll talk about those in a little bit because, you know, I feel like those are things to kind of get to know yourself and get yourself back into your energy. But I feel like it's just been coming up a lot for me lately, especially being out here, where when you're nomadic, there is this sense of, again, every place is your place. You can be anywhere, but none of them are really your place. So anywhere you go, you're kind of free range for communication and people to just stop by your car and be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I saw you the other night, and you know, and I'm starting to realize, like, I don't know how to fend any of this off. I don't know how to set up a boundary of like, nope, sorry, I don't want to talk. And I think that's really what I've been shown, was like, I am just, I call it the maple tree reference, is like that I have all these tiny little taps in me and just exuding little tiny bits of my energy, but it all starts to add up. And it gets to the point where now I'm starting to realize, like, the situations that I don't know how to get myself out of yet, and the people that maybe I don't know how to express, I don't really want to talk to you. And I'm also somebody who, if you pass by me, even in the grocery store, I'm usually smiling, nodding, hey, how's it going? Oh, thanks. You know, it's little conversations, but it's like, for the most part, half the time I don't even feel like doing that, but it's just so programmed into me. So I feel like that's kind of the things that I was noticing as to why I am at a boundary deficit. So how can I protect them? Once again, it starts with awareness. It starts with the fact that you're realizing this is a thing. And I'm sure there's a number of things that I'm also missing, but they're just not apparent enough yet. But it starts with awareness. It starts with, the other day, for example, I walked around the local park here, and I could feel myself in my energy. It feels very, I'll call it expansive. It just feels like, I'm in my own bubble. But then when I come across somebody, it's almost like, oh, I gotta react. I gotta smile. I gotta do something, because they're gonna think that I'm rude. They're gonna think I'm ignoring them. They're gonna think, and when you walk around and you feel like I'll call it expansive, and then all of a sudden your energetic bubble like contracts hard, because you feel like you have to do something. You feel like you have to react a certain way or act a certain way. So all of this to say, like, how to protect it is by noticing it, noticing where it's not being protected. And that's where you can start. That's where you can start, period. And I am no master at this, obviously, and I am learning alongside of all of you guys. However, it's like slowly bringing that awareness to where you can maybe better protect yourself. Like I said, with the maple tree reference, it's like the maple tree. Did I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable? The maple tree reference is like, maybe I can cap off the bigger spouts, and still some of the little ones that I don't really notice because they're dripping maybe once a month are still there. But at some point then I'll be like, hey, ooh, boundaries would apply here too. Let's figure that out. So I'd say that that's what I'm learning, right now about myself, and how to protect it, is just through slow awareness. And I'd say the other thing that applies here is how to get, not only how to put up boundaries, because that's going to be something that I slowly dip my toes into, show myself that it's safe to say no to certain people or not have conversations or whatever it happens to be. But then there's also this sense of getting back into my energy. What helps to reel me back when my energy has been dispersed everywhere because I'm just freely giving it away? And I think it's, once again, recontaining yourself. For me, for the last week or so, I would just, be absent at most public places just because I wanted to be in my own energy. And if I were in a public place, I just wouldn't make eye contact. And I'd be that rude person that I fear so much. And I feel like that really helped. But then once I was back in my bubble, I started doing the things that I like to do. And I started to realize that I wasn't doing them because of, fear of what other people are going to think of me, or that maybe they're going to want to come up and talk to me while I'm doing my things, because I like to dance and, not dance in public, but I like to dance. And because I live in my car, a lot of times that's in public. I love to sing. But like, it's one of those things where you feel like you're giving yourself so freely, if somebody's playing guitar or something, you start singing, once again, how do you navigate that line of, opening up in that respect, but also still wanting to close off to, I'll call it normal conversation. Still things I'm playing with, but finding the things that light you up and doing them. And maybe it doesn't make sense, but just do it anyway and pull some of your energy back to you, pull some of that love back to you. So either way, I am waiting out a rainstorm right now. It started thundering and lightning as I went to go leave. So I'm gonna do that and go move my camp today. So fun for everyone. All right, I'll check yous later. This is what happens when you live in your car and you have a day to kill. And you put a camera in front of me or a mirror. It's just, we get to play. And I haven't showered in like 2 or 3 days. By showering, I mean I swim in a creek, so I haven't done that in a couple days. So it's really fun and playful. Killing time. We're going for it. I should start a dating profile. Use this as my pick. Well, it's up. I did it in the rain. Actually, I'll just take another video, but I currently have the rain cover off because now that it's not raining, I'm trying to dry everything out. Problem, go figure, with rain and especially prolonged periods of rain, living in your car and living in a tent is nothing dries. So I will feel damp for a couple of days now, but here we are. We are set up, and I'll show you around a little bit real quick. Here's a cute little, I'll call it deeper hole that I usually swim or bathe in. And I brought all of my refrigeratable things. I use it in quotes because I've been refrigerating most things in the creek. And so now that I'm switching creek spots, I brought my little refrigerator with. So I'm gonna go hide that in the water somewhere. So I doubt anybody's gonna come down here, but just in case. So now that my tent's up, filled with, I'd say, most of the stuff I'd want to do, see, read, and my blankets and whatnot. Refrigeratables are in the creek. I think it's time to pack it up for maybe the night. I don't know. It's early yet, and this is the part that gets me, is the antsy wanting to go do something and not just sit here all night. But I think this is why I was maybe feeling called to do this. One, it's very remote, and I mean remote even from my car. My car is probably, I'd say, about a quarter mile up a hill that way. So it's not going to be fun if in the middle of the night I want to go get something out of my car, or go up and do something, boil some water, I don't know, make something. But either way, I think that's why I wanted to do this, is because it puts me a little outside of my comfort zone. And I don't mean because I feel unsafe here, but I think more so that I don't know, just like being comfortable, like having all my stuff around, and really, I don't need all that stuff. So I think I see some elderberries that I might go pillage, and yeah, call it a night. So I'll check you guys in another video. I'll see ya. Last of the season. Love when it's raining on me. Still good.